Hi everyone, we are back. This is round 11 at the Crescent City Cup, and I am Nits Chagti, your co-commentator, along with Matt Canik for the on-site NOLA stream. I cannot believe we have Dr. Bing on stream yet again. He is going first. I think he's gone first every single time we've had him on stream, and he's up against Josh Castellano, another giant, another titan in this game in his own right. How are you feeling about this game, Matt? Are you making any predictions?
Not making any predictions yet. Josh Castellano is an extremely good Scrabble player. He should not be 6-4. He should be way better than that. But Dave Wiegand is an extremely good Scrabble player. He should not be 7-3. He should be better than that. It always feels weird to see really strong players lose a lot of games early in a tournament, but somebody's got to lose this one unless we see a tie.
I'm glad that you bring that up because one of the things that my fortune cookie just told me today is the way a man plays a game shows some of his character. The way he loses shows all of it.
That's incredible.
Isn't that lovely?
That's incredible.
Wow.
And I think some Scrabble players in the room could learn a lesson or two from that fortune. The way you lose a game shows your true character. We've seen some great characters in Scrabble, some great sportsmanship. Cooper did everything right that last game and still lost, but he was grinning ear to ear. That's character. And these guys have some character too. Great, great people, both Josh and
Oh
Dave.
my gosh.
Everybody roots for him all the
The
time.
greatest character who draws an RIS blank E.
He's drawn
Goated.
well, said Nits.
Oh my
Not until he
gosh.
finished the draw. That's all. Okay, opening turn bingo for Dave.
Oh my
Do
gosh.
whatever you want. I feel like once you get to Dave's rating, you should be able to drop these in alphagram order. Just put DEIIRS blank on the board
Oh my
and then
gosh.
just move on. But
This is incredible. Oh,
you make your own luck. But go figure. Look on Josh's rack.
go figure. In fact, he has. We're gonna see bingo bongos coming down pretty quickly. I love to see this the way that this game has developed, and
To-
it's like no tiles have even come down yet.
we
That's
told you they're both good at Scrabble. See how good they are? They both drew bingos because they're awesome.
I think it's because of all the training that they do, at the gym. There, you just, like you're just making sure your finger muscles are stronger. You're making sure that, like you know exactly which tiles to pick out of the bag. That's the training that you have to do before you come to NOLA, before you come to a tournament. That's what you got to learn.
When Josh Castellano won the SPC last year, I interviewed him and I asked what he thought his secret to success was. He listed two facts. Fact one was, I'm actually learning the definitions of the words along with the words because that helps them stick in my head. And the second thing is, I exercise every day before play. I think there's something to each of those. This is Dave's finally made a decision. I think this is Dishir blank H
Nice.
this year, and then figures is going to come back. Figurers is going to come back through the R. That's all Josh is going to have. But back to my previous tangent. Then I asked Mac Meller after he won the NWL side of the SPC, what are you doing differently? And he's like, I hike and exercise all the time. And then I think about Nigel Richards, who exercises on his bike all the time. And I'm starting to wonder if there's some something to that. You got
Well,
to exercise before play, and then you draw bingos out of the bag. Is that how it works?
Well, the argument that they made for chess being a sport, the argument was that you have to do so much physical preparation for the mental agony that comes with being at a chess tournament for so long that it is now qualified as it's qualified as a sport. And for I think the argument for Scrabble was that because of the wrist motion of pulling out the tiles, therefore it is a sport. But I think there is much to be said about being, active and kind of exercising and kind of like stretching. I don't know, like doing your finger strength training to be able to pick these tiles out, to be able to find a lot of these words. I will say that I will say personally that like working out and stuff does feel like it gives me the mental clarity to be a better player. I think just improves the quality of life. And I'm glad that figure is coming down. I'd hoped to see it slightly sooner, but I think Josh here was just doing his diligence, just making sure there was nothing else. Um, and the game has really started off with quite a bang. Incredible.
Yeah, you hit the gym, run your race. I know Dave is a big runner, and then you draw bingos out of the bag. AABEILO is Dave's post bingo draw, so he didn't have two in a row in him. Curious to see if he goes short versus long here. OBA next to figurers with three overlaps makes a lot of sense, but Obelia also plays as a four overlap on top of Dishier. I'm sure Dave has already seen both of them, and I'm really curious to see if he goes long or goes short here. I think he's going to play the shorter play with all the floaters available to him, though.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Because if he plays something like Oba to the side of figures, well, that takes a B and it takes an S. So Boba and Soba are both words. He knows that Josh is just picking out seven random tiles out of the bag. Maybe it's worth the risk here. Maybe it's worth the risk. Two S's are already on the board. There's only like two B's and only two S's. Maybe it's worth doing like Boba. You're not going to be hit that hard, right? Maybe bow instead. Maybe O to the side, making
Oh,
B
yeah.
I A G and O
Yeah, you
U.
guys have OU. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that gives back the little four tile plays from the top triple word score a lot more often, but it also doesn't give up the Soba hook. And Soba is huge. If you don't have an S, if you're Dave, I think we'd see Bow over Oba here. Oba playing three tiles and keeping AEIL with all the floaters, the floating R, the floating D, the floating S. Yeah, that's a good idea. Man, Oba is strong because it leaves the R in figure alone, and leaving that R alone is big. You want that to float in space and it maximize your bingo percentage, but Soba is so painful. Big decision.
I mean, I think maybe it's not that big of a risk, right? And I think like at this point in the game, you can kind of eat it. You can kind of eat that score. There's only two S's out, only two B's out. The board, I mean, it's still developing. It's so open. I think if Oba is, and it does appear that Oba is the best equity move here. I think, say for example, if Josh Castellano was playing this, I think he would just go ahead and I think he'd just play Oba. I think that's my prediction for Josh Castellano if he had this rack right now, if he was in this position.
It's a really complex turn and a lot to think about, and Dave is thinking through all of these things right now. Obelia, the overlap, I didn't think of this at the time, thanks to chat for bailing me out once again, but Obelia has a front hook, so playing that is also wild. Playing Oba on top is wild. Playing Bow on top is wild. Each of these plays is aggressive in a completely different way, but you have to take some kind of risk in Scrabble. Curious to see which one Dave does. And right on cue, here comes Oba
Nice.
without the S, but you're right. Josh has random tiles, so S is not more likely than average. Cool play. Cool situation from Dave.
Nice, 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 nice. I feel like that was a really great play, really great um, just knowledge and just awareness on his part. I think this was well done, and I think for Josh, this is just going to be a pure quality equity play. I don't think he has much to think here, and Dave Wiegand has drawn into a natural bingo here, but Josh here has to deal with his rack first. I think something as simple as HEW is going to make so much sense here to the side of figures, making UHRE and EW. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Oh man, Oba leaves me feeling really bad. I mean, big sad from Josh that Wayman was blocked through the G. I'm sure he saw it. Now he's got a little surrender Cobra action going on. He's got to focus and actually think on a turn he didn't think he'd need to. You can tell Bingo was blocked. Like, look at his body language. You can just see it. HEW is a really strong play. It's clearly the equity play here. EIMN is about as good as you're going to leave on this rack. It scores better than anything else. Like, it's hard to scoff at that play, but it does open up the right side of this board when otherwise there's not too much opportunity. It does nothing to deal with the big triple word square Dave just opened up. But there are
Oh, interesting, right? Like maybe he thinks that this is a setup.
correct. Yeah, so
Right.
it's like,
More
was this
psychological warfare.
yeah, there's so much of that in Scrabble, and it's wild watching it. But like so far in New Orleans, every time there's a setup or whatever, nobody has it. Everybody's just scared all the time.
I think he's learned, or I think Josh is actually on this path to trying to not play super scared. I think he's trying to play more equity and trying to just go with the math here. And I think this was good recognition on his part. Definitely a great play. And unfortunately for Dave, his natural Aeolian, which he has spotted, is not going to go anywhere. But the word itself is valid without that front A. So Aeolian itself, EOLIAN, that is a word. And Josh has given him a pretty great place to play it should he decide to like get rid of six of his tiles. EWE is a word, it's like a sheep, and EOLIAN is a word, and that could play for 20 points. I don't know if he wants to blow up his rack right now, though. I don't think he needs to. I think Dave can just play something like Olia, OLEA, through the E of this year for 19 points, which is just one fewer. But the lead is pretty nice.
He said, unfortunately, Dave can't play Aeolian with the A in front, but I think fortunately Dave can't play it because, again, I love to learn from excellent players in these
Right.
situations. This is such a hard turn again for Dave with so many options
He
that
would have
do
put an
so
A
many
out in
different
space for
things.
dementia.
Oh, and wow, yeah,
Oh,
there would have been an A out in space. I wasn't even thinking about
sorry.
that.
Uh,
I like complex positions when we call games. It's no fun to watch Dave Wiegand drop baby
sorry,
bingos.
not dementia. I thought there were two E's. It's
Oh
miniated.
yeah.
My bad.
Oh
I'm
oh,
so dyslexic.
miniated. Oh
Yeah,
my God, miniated would
but
be
that would have been really, really cool.
yeah. In any case, this is a really hard turn. Does Dave play Aeolian the 6 tiles for 20? Does he keep both of his consonants and just play 2 vowels here? Does he score a little bit? Does he try to open a spot? I do think Olia is just a strong play.
It's a really good
AEIN
play.
synergizes so well with the D and S, but after you play Olia here, the D and the S are about the only opportunity you'll have next turn. You can't play bingo on the top of this board with Soba because you don't have the stuff to do it. If the D and the S get blocked, you're going to be big sad next turn after Olia.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like you could still pick up something that plays to the side, so like you could have like an RE hook, and EWE is still a word, so he
Well, you're
might be able
blocking
to.
EWE, that's the thing.
Oh, sorry,
LAW only
sorry,
takes
sorry,
a
sorry.
D and
My
a
bad.
K as back hooks,
You're
no
right. Yeah,
S.
yeah.
So, you're blocking yourself, but this is just such a good equity play that I think it's appropriate to play here. DEIIMNT on Josh's rack. He's down just 3 points, but has good tiles. And I think Dave's last play simplifies this a lot for him. MID making MAG, and now making DORE is 23 and holds TEIN. That feels awesome. But also, maybe we'll see Josh try to play a little bit of defense. It makes a little sense to try to knock out the floating stuff in this year. A play like DIM beneath would be really fun, and I think a lot of NWL players would make that. But Josh likes to score points. He likes to keep things open, and I don't see him blocking here. What do you think, Nits?
I think he might be looking for a double double. I think he's just checking to see if he doesn't have anything. And then I think he's going to do, as you suggested, I think he's just going to throw off that MID somewhere on this board for a bunch of points. And the highest, as you already mentioned, is mag and door, mid being the word that he plays from his rack, MID, the tiles that he can get rid of. Though I think if he can play just MI, that might be nice too. MI itself, I don't think it's going to score anywhere as close to 23 on this board. So he's going to do the calculation. He's going to figure out that he needs to. It's a good idea to play MID, but we can see him kind of like going through his tiles. I think what he's trying to do is like he's trying to look for a double double, I believe.
Yeah, maybe look for the double double and look for bingos as well. Can I bingo through DISH? Let me take my time. Let me make sure there's nothing there. Let me make sure there's not a high scoring double double, and then let me figure out how to fish out of this rack. Josh's decision here is huge though. As I mentioned, Dave needs the D and the S to stay open. Dave has drawn into anodized or adenoids using the S and dishier. If Josh chooses to block here, Dave will get destroyed. But if Josh chooses not to block and play the offensive brand of Scrabble he usually
Interesting.
plays, this would be huge. If he plays
Interesting.
denim beneath, that's a great
This is
block.
incredible.
That would wall
Wow.
Dave in, that block all the anodized plays.
Wow.
Oh
That's
man,
incredible.
but Josh doesn't make plays like this very often. That's not really his MO.
Well, I mean, maybe he's thinking about what Dave's recent plays have, what inference he receives from this, right? So, like, he's played off OBA, OBA, the 3 tiles, OLA, another 3 tiles seems to be vowel heavier right now. I really like denim. I think that's showing his recognition that like maybe Dave is getting closer and closer to a bingo, and I think that's just such an incredible play. Just really beautifully intuited.
He hasn't hit his clock yet. He doesn't feel good about this. You can see the
He's
hesitation
gonna
and
do it.
find yeah,
He's
he
gonna
just
do it.
tapped it
Yep.
there. Okay, okay, wow. So that is a little bit different from Josh, but I don't know. I keep seeing it in the booth. The very, very, very good players, the Max, the Wiegand, the Josh, they just seem to know when you've got it and they make the block when they need to. The timing is incredible. Spidey
Right.
sense is going off for Josh. A great block.
I think that he's definitely very aware of when to think about equity and when to think about what his opponent, like what information his opponent has given him. What could his opponent possibly be keeping? And Josh Castellano is the creator of Magpie, which does do inference now. And he, like he's learning a lot from this. I believe this has given him the capacity, and all of these tournaments that he plays has given him the capacity to have, these spidey senses, which, I mean, for some of us, they're innate, and for some of us, we develop over like many, many, many games. And that is, of course, what Josh Castellano has done. There's a reason why he won the SBC. There's a reason why he's the current North American Scrabble champion. I mean, he's an incredible player.
I mean, he was always good, but like he's gotten spooky good the last couple years. He really has. He's put so much time and work into his game, and not just into his game, but into everything Scrabble. And he shares pretty much everything he builds with the world. We need a lot of
Absolutely.
that. If you build it, they will come. And Josh has built a lot of stuff up. He's also built a six Scrabble game, and I don't know. One more point on that last Denim turn. I don't want to belabor it too much, but if Josh had Wiegand pegged on an S, if he thought Oba was an S setup,
Right.
Denim is so bad. So he had to make a
Right.
really good ID and DOF. If you think Dave has an S, you've got to play ID and DOS.
Right.
Because if you look at the board now, Soba is available, and if you draw a bingo starting an S, ASS is still on the board as a hook.
Right.
So if Josh made a great read that Wiegand played Oba not with an S in tow, but maybe because it was forced,
Right.
and then made the right call again on the next turn. That's really good stuff.
That's incredible. I mean, that's awesome. So Adu going down here, which is clearly Bing's best play. And Josh now with tiles that look like they could be very close to a bingo. Unfortunately, he doesn't have one. He has one too many consonants here. This is a great time for Josh to dump some of these tiles, something as simple as print or pint, like pint maybe under denim, maybe print. I think print might be a little too aggressive, but maybe just something like pint, maybe he sees quite immediately would be possibly his move here. Here's the thing though, like Josh is very, very careful about the equity calculation. So what do I mean by that? He's always thinking about, okay, what does this turn score? And then what is the value of what is the value of the tiles that are left back on his rack? And Josh Castellano, he's played so many tournaments, and once you play many of these tournaments, you play a lot of games, you get kind of like an intuitive sense of what some tiles are worth. Like we think sometimes colloquially that a blank could be worth 25 points. So if it's not getting you 25 points extra, then keep the blank back. Like an S could be worth 8 points. But Josh Castellano has done this work to really study a variety of leaves to understand what their exact mathematical value is. And then that's how he goes through his game. Thinks about them very carefully. I think he's memorized many, many of them, and that's why he's able to make sometimes dead on accurate um, uh, predictions about like what would be the best equity move.
At some point, you really do just have to sit down and try to get a feel for those values. I mean, you can use cross tables or a number of tools, but you just have to kind of guess, like how much is AELN worth? How much is CRT worth? And you just have to think of racks and type them in and see how many points they are and refine that skill. But it is, if you want to be as good as Josh or Dave, if you want to make it up to the top of Division One, like you shouldn't memorize that. You can if you have an absolute freak brain, but most people can't. Most people can just intuit those values within a point or two after a lot of refinement and a lot of guess and check.
Right.
Let's focus on the turn at hand here. Josh trailing by 1 point. He needs to rely on the new INT to make most of his good plays. INT is a new verb that was just added to CSW. It means to intentionally give an advantage to your opponent, which is actually really funny and ironic given the context of the game. But PINT and INT looks to be like a kind of a no-brainer here. The only other thing I could think of is playing ASP and print,
Oh,
perhaps.
interesting.
Uh, has Josh seen INT? Like, is this his
He knows
first new
INT.
word? Okay,
Oh, he absolutely knows INT. I
okay.
just feel like maybe he's not going to play something as aggressive as ASP and print because of the information that you can kind of glean from um, Bing and how he's been playing so far. I mean, OBA, OL, OLA on the board, ADO, ADO. These are three tile plays that just, I think, for me would signal, okay, my opponent's really, really close and they're just not hitting their bingo right now.
Correct, and yeah, they're close. I don't want to put floaters out there with the play like print. There's one other option that seems fun. IN beneath denim, making
Oh my gosh.
DEI, INN and sin. That's pretty defensive. I need to double check the back hooks to sin in CSW. It takes a DEGHKS. That's still pretty defensive. That actually is not bad at all. It's holds CPRT, which is not the best leave, but on a board shaped like this, you like having those hard scoring consonants, and you like having the C to block if Dave tries to open. You like holding the P for ASP. INN is a pretty good play here for Josh. I
That's
would love to see that.
interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. One of the reasons why I don't know if I like this is because if he draws one more consonant, then he's absolutely screwed. So he only has three chances to draw a new tile. And if he draws one more consonant, that's going to be kind of really tough for him. Also, he doesn't have anything under SIN. Like, I mean, you just mentioned, okay, these are the back hooks that Sin takes, and he doesn't have a D or an E or a G or um, H or K or S. He's gonna have to hope to draw into one of those. So I think there might be a chance that we're gonna see Pine. Is he thinking of Nip?
Nip and Dep.
Interesting.
Setting up an S he doesn't have.
How?
That's silly. I wonder if he just hasn't seen int, like pint and int or INN. Those seem like the only two options that are actually good here. But Josh surprises me a lot when he plays on stream. He might think of something smart.
The thing is, so here's the thing. Josh Castellano has a capacity to see the possible plays very, very quickly. He can generate these plays very quickly. And then where he seems to struggle on stream and even in his games is where he's trying to make the decision of what to play. So he's sometimes known to just go back and forth, back and forth. And I think
Whoa.
wait,
It's
hang on a
good. That's a
second.
word, but
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. I ca- I could
uh,
never have expected Josh Castellano of all people to play that.
he missed int. Or just got spooked that Dave has an S, which after his read last turn where Dave clearly didn't have an S is kind of weird.
There's
Whoa.
just no. I just don't know if there's a universe in which I can see Josh Castellano keeping NN on. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I've just like I could never see him holding NN when there's other options available because he knows that NN is like -6, and you put a P with that, that's worse, right? I mean, maybe he's sniffing out something from Dave, but was he afraid of was he afraid of like a possible double double? Was he afraid like if he does int?
That's just a really weak play from Josh. Like if Dave is in bingo prone range and you don't open a line, you know he's got an E and you know he's going to backhook Citrin like all the time. You're giving him 25 on a bailout play and he's going to play Citrine. Uh, uh,
There's
I,
no way he's trying to block the nines. I think he was trying to block a double double. I think he knew that he couldn't play there because he's afraid of a double double.
I think INN last turn was the move. I think so. Citrine feels really weird. Citrine takes a back S. You don't have an S in your hand. You know Dave is likely to force to play it a lot. But then maybe this is mind games. Maybe if you play Citrine, you're trying to send a message to Dave like, I've got an S. Put an E on the end. I dare you. Open that triple word. That
That's really
could be
strange.
Galaxy, but I think that's just a bad
I
play.
I don't know because I've seen Josh play int a few times. Like I've seen him play it at club. I've seen him play it, on Woogles. I know like he's he's aware of this word. He's studied the new words. So I'm just um maybe yeah. I mean maybe he just didn't see INT, but then he would have seen INN. He would have seen INN, and he would have recognized that it's a better play than maybe I just don't understand the
Sometimes
reasoning
players
behind
just
this.
make
Yeah.
bad plays. You know,
Well, I
you
mean,
have to make
yeah.
like 400
I
decisions in a Scrabble tournament. A couple
yeah.
of them can be off, but that just, you're right. NNP, like of all the
That's like
combinations you could have
negative
chosen, that's like
8
one
or
of the worst
something.
ones. Sure, the P is reasonably valuable for ASP, but they're going to talk about it. He's going to talk about it after the game, I
Right, right,
guarantee.
right.
But that just,
Yeah, I really don't know what the reasoning behind this is, and I would be uh really interested to know what it could be. I feel like pint would have been um better. But yeah, I mean, or in if he doesn't see INT.
right.
So, I mean, what is Dave to do here, right? Like, he's got the E for Citrine. He's going to be fine. He has so many plays that he can underlap with. Something as simple as dine in this case, or even ET for 18, citrine and ET would be just okay, it would be just fine. It does appear that Bing chooses not to break up his rack for DENET. Dennett would have played for 33 instead. That would have left I feel like that would have been a better play. It's so many more points, 8 more points, but
He hasn't hit
keeps.
his clock yet.
That's
He's looking
true.
at this. He's looking at AIDE or AINE, and I'm sure he was thinking about Dinette as well. They're
Right,
all very similar options, but he finally does commit to it. That's a tough turn. Three very similar options. I
right.
hate vowels. I probably would have played AINE, but that's just my style. And yep, Josh knew he was going to bingo into PNN because he's got
I don't know if there's. Wait, is there a bingo here? What is he?
pendency. Oh,
Is he making
he's thinking
pendency?
pendency, and he mixed it up. He played a phony. I think that's a
Is it?
C we'll get from our, but it's
Is that
whatever this
question
is.
on
It's
the
not a word.
board?
But hang on, what does Dave have back? What does Dave have back? Did he get any bingo? He got tetronal tolerant. So this allows bingo or Dave to bingo, and otherwise he couldn't. Josh's phony burns a blank and gives Dave a bingo back. I'm sure Dave knows this is not good, but I don't know if it's right to challenge.
What on earth?
Oh, pernancy,
Permanency?
Pernancy, pendency, Pendency, I think is good.
He
Perkin,
hasn't drawn his tiles. Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
he's on hold, but Dave, this is a challenging decision. Should Dave actually challenge this? I don't know. Dave's going to take a lot of time, and Josh is not drawing courtesy tiles on purpose, which is funny.
Yeah,
Um,
like I brought this up yesterday, but like if there's positive EV to, oh wow, okay, he's taking it. He's just gonna do
wow,
tetronal.
5 point challenge. The phony stays, but it might be right because you want that blank off Josh's rack. You want it out off as soon as possible. Dave Wiegand
Interesting.
accepts a phony just when you think you've seen it all,
Wow.
but hits
Okay.
back with tetronal, and Dave leads by 3. Oh, Josh has already drawn their face down. Dave is drawing now. Okay. So
Wow.
I
Incredible.
Will Anderson saying in chat that Wiegand knows this is not a word, and I'm pretty sure I agree. I think the decision to leave it on was purely tactical, but we're definitely going to catch that on overhead mic.
I I'm just baffled. Wow. I did not expect this game to go down this way. This was not on my bingo card
But this is
for
precisely why
2025.
you watch, because you never expect it to go down the way it
Wow.
does, but it's always
Just
fun to watch.
wow. Okay, all right. So thoughts for Josh, right? Does he just do jam? Does he just do jam on top of tetronal, or does he do jolty to the Y? Like what's more dangerous? What's more like important for him to do? JAM, making JO and MA, right? Like that's 41 points. And it keeps a really nice sleeve, CELOT. You really like that one. That's nice and balanced. Or Jolty for 45 if you're worried about that Y out in space. What are your thoughts? I kind of like Jolty.
Before I jump in and start thinking about equity, this is where you need to stop and make a plan about what's going to happen in the rest of this game. And there's one absolutely huge question you have to ask. Does Tetronel take an S? The answer is yes, it does. And S's are going to be huge in this game, unless I do something to avoid that. Play
Oh,
like YMOLT doesn't thwart that S line as much as I'd like, so I would cash in the J as Josh did there. It's just a really good play.
yeah, I think he needs a few more shots at getting that S. If he plays just two tiles, that's two fewer chances that he has to play to draw the S, as opposed to when he plays Jolty, that's four tiles. It's important. MEC is still a good enough leave, and it's 45 points. There's nothing, um, yeah, there's nothing bad about scoring 45 points here.
Yeah, YAWANG is 47 on top of Tetronel, but it opens a lot. Dave is just holding the WY, and way in the same spot makes sense. Away in the same spot makes sense. Or playing in a different quadrant completely makes sense too.
Maybe just
I don't
way.
know. Way or Way Ang. I would play the longer. Well, let's look at this unseen pool. If you put a G out in space, there's one N, 3 eyes, and a blank. I'm not all that worried about that. I do like knocking out the Tetronel back hook. If I don't have the S, I want to make it go away. If I see Wei Yang and that's a tough spot, I'd play the long version. Dave playing
Nice.
away here
There are three A's
instead.
out. So Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. He's got three ace still out. He wants to draw into one of those eyes if he can. Though I don't know if he does draw into it, where does he play with it on this board? Um, but that's okay. You know, still I think that was 37 points, so that's great. He's gotten himself neck and neck. He's only I think 5 points behind Josh right now. Josh to play. He's got this X, but no great place to dump it for a boatload of points. Maybe he's not even supposed to play an X in this turn.
And again, if you look at your long-term approach in this game, now there are two big concerns to worry about. There are bingos in the 12 row that play above the T and E and tetronel, and there are S plays that backhook tetronel. I'm not close to a bingo, and also I don't have an S. So I feel pretty bad if I'm Josh in this instance. I would be looking to turn over tiles here as much as I can, as many as I can, and go digging for an S. I'd be looking to play Clave or Calve, CALVE, beneath the T in Tetronel. I'll keep that X. I'll try to score it next, or score with it next turn. And I really, really want to draw an S. I'm going to feel way better about my chances of winning if I have an S on my rack.
Right. Right. Okay, here's the thing, right? Okay. So do you do Cav or Clave above tetronal or do you do it below? So here's the thing. If you do it below tetronal making TE, that is 28 points, and there's one H that is unseen to Josh, right? Okay. If you do it above, that's 22 points. It's six fewer points. But if you draw an I next turn, you can probably set up, you know, AXXI. I mean, I don't know if that's that great of a gambit. So is is Josh going to play scared? Is he going to play for 22? Is he going to play for 28? Is he going to play somewhere else entirely? Maybe he plays clam. Maybe he plays CLAM clam for 22 and he keeps vexed for next turn. So he can play VEXT to the T of citrine next turn. And it doesn't seem intuitive to keep that V here, but there is that one spot where it would go really well.
VEXT to the T is 22. You're playing Collins against Dave Wiegand. I'm not going to fish for a 22-point play next turn. Like the S is so important. I need to play as many tiles as I can and go get an S. I'm going to play Cav or Clave.
Good
Good
for
choice.
him.
I would play
Good for
Cav
him.
though. I would play CALVE
I
just
would
in case
also play Calv,
yeah,
yeah.
like the H plays you mentioned could hurt really bad. Like Shop. Oh, Shop isn't good there. Show isn't there. There's got to be some kind of H play,
There
but
has got to be, right?
Shog, I
He hit the
guess.
clock. Okay.
All right. I don't know why you
Interesting.
did that, but okay.
You don't know why
Oh,
he
he's
hit the
setting up
clock.
the X. He's trying to set up OX or something, or
Or
Hawks.
Hawks, but then he has to draw into an O and an H, and there's only one H. I feel like it's a little too um, much of a long shot. But Dave has a really, really fantastic play here. One standout play, and he's seen it immediately. Great job. This is 48 points. He keeps a fantastic lead. Oh my God. I feel like this game is in Bing's hands right now, depending on just like what these draws are. And I feel like I've jinxed someone or the other, and I'm not sure which one. There we see an S. There we go. All
All
right.
right, you play 5 tiles, you go into the bag, you draw the blank. Everything is going as Josh planned, but everything is going as Dr. Bing planned. That is the doctor's orders. Drop ZE for 47 points. And again, these guys make their own luck. I don't know, other players don't seem to draw exactly what they need, but they're also playing lights out Scrabble. Huge turn here for Josh. He has the S he needs, but I think he's not going to cash it in now.
No way.
He's going to cash in or sit and wait because he's got mix up above Tetronal. MIXUP, 39 points, hold RS. If you see it, and it's really hard to see the word mix up, it doesn't come up very often, but if you see it, you got to play that, right, Nits?
He's totally gonna see it. He's totally gonna play it too. I mean, well, you know what? I've called a few plays on Josh's end and I haven't expected them. So I do hope that this is an expected play that does go out, does go down on this board. There's no reason for him to cash in his X right now. And there's no reason for him to hold on to more tiles than he needs to. So like if he plays XU, for example, instead, if he plays XU to the side of Citrine, keeping IMPRS. I don't think he needs to do that. The vowel consonant ratio is pretty even right now, and he's likely to draw into quite a few unhappy consonants. I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't play mix up, and I hope he does see it Especially since he played there just last turn. I feel like that's a part of the board that he doesn't need to, or probably won't be ignoring right now.
Josh is going to take a step back and think about other options before he commits to anything. The play of Prism and Tetranels holding XU is also 39. That's a big score, and maybe holding the X and scoring big with it. Maybe that's all Josh feels he has to do. Score 39 now, score 39 again, or 40 with the X next turn. But no, mix up is so superior. The only bad thing about mix up is if Dave does have that last S and he plays like VATS or something, you're close to done.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, no, you're not close to done. Like it's actually a very close game. So you don't actually have to worry about getting walled in. If Dave bingos with an S, you're dead. But if Dave bingos and you lose.
I
Josh
guess
has to play mix up if he sees it.
I guess you can kind of hope to play to the A. It's going to be very, very unlikely. You can hope that you can hit a bingo there, but it's going to be like very difficult. So let's see. What is he eyeing? He's he's shuffling the tiles. Is he going to do prism? He
It
does
just
appear to be.
he hasn't
Oh, he's
seen mix up. He sees syrup and
he does see syrup.
citrines and pars. That's a nice little fit. It's not a nice play, but I don't think he sees mix up. That's a really hard word to see.
I do not want him to play this. But okay, so what could his reasoning be for this, right?
He
Like, does he
doesn't see
think,
mix up. That's the reasoning.
and if he does see it, is there any other reason why he could possibly be thinking about this as a possible play?
No,
Um, is he thinking that the X is going to go somewhere? I
no.
mean, that S is so valuable to hold on to right now because of tetronals. Has he forgotten that tetronals is a word? Is that one of the cases?
Then you definitely.
Um,
No, God. Yeah, he just missed it. Oh, he just missed it.
Well, I guess he just needs to be on StudyCade a little bit more. Come to the twitch.tv StudyCade channel, and we have all these JQXE words for you guys to catch up with so you don't miss them on stream like this. That's really
Jeez.
rough. That's really rough.
You must come to study, Kate, or else you're also going to miss bingos on stream. Join us or
Well,
die.
join us or die, and don't make more mix ups.
Oh, very good.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
We just fist bump for all you guys who can't be part of our bestie, revival here.
right. So after the mix-up on Josh's last turn, he is in the advantage. But if you make a mistake against Dave Wiegand in New Orleans, Dave capitalizes. Unless your name is Josh Sokol, and then you draw like 4 bingos in a row and beat him by 300. But Josh
What?
just made a mistake.
Yeah.
Dave is gonna be upset about that.
I wonder if he's tilted. Like, I wonder if he's just been thinking about pendency this whole time and he's just like tilted about it, you know? But I mean, I don't know if Bing gave him any tells to suggest that that's a phony that stayed on the board.
Bing doesn't give you any tells at all. He gives you no information. He just murders you over the board. He's stoic. So I want to point out, Josh did play the second to last S, did not draw the last S, and
Jesus
this
Christ.
game is gonna come down to the S on Tetranel. Since Josh played his, he has nothing he can really do to cover it because he missed mix-up. Whoever draws that S is gonna win this game, and Dave gets to play next. Dave gets to draw next.
Maybe if he was like Australian, he'd see Ute. Maybe he just like missed Ute and it's just like an Australian thing. When you're from down under, you're not going to miss that.
He just missed mix-up. But I do appreciate the Aussie joke. David Eldar, are you here? Drop some love in chat if you are. I'm sure you're not. You're probably doing more fun things like Age of Empires.
All right, Gov coming down nice and easy. This is the cleanest play that he could have put down here. TANE is just a fantastic leave. Back to Josh here, who's just in a rough spot with these tiles. I mean, uh, maybe just Div has given him back an option to like throw out his BOX box for 38. I mean, he's been kind of bailed out a little bit because of this play. But what he could also do is just Oxen for 47.
Oh man, Oxen underneath, but that does hold the dreadful BGM combination. Not actually terrible tiles to have on this board, but box. Man, Dave has just been getting hit by what he doesn't want to get hit by, and then he draws
Oh,
the Q. I bet Josh is
and
going to
the
reach in.
H.
Josh is going to reach in and draw the S, and this game's going to be over, but we'll see.
All right, all right, all right. We are probably going to see QI come down to the side of Citrine, maybe, but that H is going to be so helpful for Dave. He does not need to bingo, I think, to keep his lead. I mean, it'd be great for him to draw the S, but he's got the H for a high scoring move. As the board gets closed, there's less places to get a lot of points. And that 36-point play of Van or they is just going to hit so hard.
Josh did not draw the S. Okay, I was wrong for the first time this tournament. I was wrong.
For
Josh
the
did
first
not draw
time.
the S.
Sir,
You got to be the smarmy commentator, right? That's what I'm supposed to do.
you're
That's
supposed
my
to be
whole
the
shtick.
smarmy
Yeah, I'm
commentator.
a smarmy
Wait,
gay
who? Wait,
commentator.
was that on your contract though?
No, I just wrote it in crayon, and now
You
I'm going to treat it
chose
like it's
to be.
official. I chose to be this way. It's all dick. All right, man. Dave has a big turn. He's opting
Wow.
not to play QI here. He's going to
Yeah,
wait, hold back.
he really doesn't need
Oh,
to.
there's two U's and the S to be drawn. I wonder if he's got some kind of tell that Josh doesn't have the S. I mean, Syrup did take a really long time, so probably didn't hold an S. Big baller move. Is he going to draw Quist and win?
Oh my god! Oh my
Is he going to draw Quist and win? Is he going to draw
god!
Quist and?
Oh, you've jinxed him. Wow! 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 Four tiles in the bag. Josh has 4 minutes on his clock. There is no great play for him that is like anywhere even close to like 20 points. This is neck and neck, 367 to 376. These scores are correct on our ends. We don't know what the players have agreed to. Um, wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh. You know what Josh has to do?
What does Josh have to
I
do?
think he has to block QI. I think he has to block QI. I think he has to play GU there. I think he has to block QI.
Josh has to think for a really long time before he does anything. You got to look at the unseen pool. There's four in the bag right now. You got to try to make inferences based on Dave's last play. Does Than ever hold the Q? Does Than mean the Q is in the bag? Do I have anything to do with the Q if I like? If I draw it, if you block QI and then you draw the Q, you
You're
die.
screwed.
You
Yeah.
die. But if Dave has it and you don't block it, he might win the game anyway. This game is going to come down to that S tile. I said it 6 turns ago, and it's still true.
So maybe what he needs to do is keep that U just in case so he can play quad to the A of a doze. Wait, what's going
He's
on?
blocking QI and playing 5 tiles. He's going to go digging for the.
What
What are
on?
you doing?
Wait, there's 4 tiles unseen.
All right, Josh empties the bag. He's going to draw the S and win, and that's
Wow.
that.
What on earth? Oh my god.
All right.
I what?
I'm trying to figure that one out. I think that, like, I'm trying to make that play make sense, and I think it was just really bad. But I'm trying to figure this out. Josh is smart. He's good at
So
Scrabble.
right, like maybe he's thinking there's another U out to be drawn. There's two eyes unseen that he can draw. If he does get the Q, there's a chance that he's going to be able to draw maybe QAT, maybe he can draw QI, maybe he can draw QU. Maybe he's not stuck with the Q. So maybe it's okay for him to empty the bag. Maybe he does need to take this opportunity where he's ahead to get this game over as quickly as possible. Maybe that's what he needs to do, get this game over as quickly as possible because he's ahead. He just needs to score. Like that's insane.
I think that play was just very, very bad. But
So wait,
I
I want to know
need to
your reasoning
think
about this.
longer. I need to think longer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and I want to know your reasoning about like why it's bad because I don't
What if
actually
Dave
know.
drew Quist? What if Dave
Right.
drew Quist? Then you lose.
Then it's like insta lose. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you were in a decent position before that play, right? Why would you allow Dave to play Quist if he has it? Why
So
would
if
you?
he
Why would you
has
allow him to play Quasi?
Quist,
Quasi also is like unseen. There were a bunch of big
what does
threats
he
unseen.
have back?
I don't know if there's a good way to block, but Josh just
So
threw that word down like, oh, I'm good. There's no way Dave can score 70 and win that. Somebody in chat help me out. I think that was just a
okay, so if Quist is on Dave's rack, he's so up ahead. He's up by wait, okay, Quist is like 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, yeah. Wait, that's really confusing now. Okay.
It was just a bad play.
78, and then he's up by 60. How do you come back from that?
You don't. That's
Maybe he
why
mistracked. Maybe he just like thought there was more tiles
I
in the
think
bag.
Josh just made a bad decision. Sometimes that happens in Scrabble. It was a really tricky pre-end game, and he's low on time. And I think he just made a poor decision to keep some time on his clock. But he's going to hang on and win this game. He's got just one win to do it here. He must play KEFS, and if he does that, he's going to hang on and win.
And he has 3 minutes to
by
figure this out. This is
4.
good.
Yeah, I mean,
That's good.
Kefs is really obvious. He's going to probably just going to recount the entire game right now and hold on and win by 4 points. But wow,
That's
what a
insane.
game. Dave had
This is
so many
insane.
chances to win if he just ever drew that S out of the bag, and he never got it.
That S, my friends, that is a really, really powerful little tile there. Oh, wow. I can't wait to hear like the post-mortem. Josh has 3 minutes or less on his clock now. I think he's gonna find this win. He just needs to find, and Keps is right there. It's like it's staring him in the face. He's gonna see this. He's gonna do the math. He's just trying to find Bing's highest outplay with AI, and there, I mean, AI with QI is gonna be the best for Bing. That's gonna be 14 points. Um, and it might be about tetronals. Yeah, this might be a worry about if tetronals is a word or not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Even if he's 99%, like, is there any other way I can win the game? Am I forced to try this word I'm not certain
Oh
of?
my god.
Or maybe that makes the most sense. If you decided 6 turns ago Tetronal does not take an S, I
Right.
bet then every one of his actions this entire game makes perfect sense. If he's certain it doesn't take an S, and then he just gets super lucky, draws every S, and never loses to Dave because he's lucky.
Is he gonna take the
That must
risk?
be what he's giggling because he has to, and he might chicken out. I bet he decided 7 turns ago it's not good,
Scratching
but
his
now
head.
he's like, well, I decided it's not good, but now I have to play it or I lose the game. But it's not a word, and I know it's not a word.
He has to do it.
He's
He
got to
has to
do
do
it.
it.
He's
He has
got
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
He has to do it.
And for a lesson for everybody watching at home, if the only way you can win the game is to try a phony, even if you think it's not a word, nobody's ever going to judge you for trying it. Just freaking do it. You
Oh
play
my
to win the
gosh.
game always. So, but I don't know. Josh is in agony.
I
And he's got a minute left.
I'm at the edge of my seat. I did not expect this game to be just, I mean, yes, I expected this to be like a really insane game, just like neck and neck the whole time, and it has been. But wow, for it to come down to the very last move, for just this one leap of faith,
He did it.
he's doing it. Is
Dave is
Bing gonna
sitting there.
challenge? That's the thing.
No, Dave knows Tetronal takes an
Is
S.
he gonna do it just for the heck of it? You know?
No.
Wow,
All right,
that's
let's cut to
incredible.
overhead mic as soon as we can here. Dave just going to put down AI. We'll just get it live.
Citron was 14. I got 16. Oh, okay. Sorry, let me check.
So the game is really close, and
You're
there's
right.
a
Yeah, so that
possibility
is
that Josh will win by just 4 points, which is few enough points for them to do a
excellent.
recount. It would make sense because the game is so close.
I think Dave slowly recounting this one. I think Nits was actually right, as I said in chat. I think Tetronals is on hold. Dave's like, I know this is a word. I've probably stolen it in anagrams before, but if I lose the game, I'll give him 5 extra spread.
Oh, called it.
Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah.
Aha, who's
What a
the Bing
game.
mind reader now? It is
Yeah.
moi.
Yeah.
I have ascended. I have learned.
She has.
I have morphed.
Got you 11 games
Okay.
under your belt.
35
Now you've ascended. Complete alpha
Four,
status.
two,
I've
one.
seen enough of Bing now.
Wait, 4-2-4.
4-2. Wait, 4-2-2.
You had 2 more points.
Oh, yes. For the correct score, 9:35. 4-2-4.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks. 14. $411 plus $417.
4-15
$415. Oh yes.
game.
Is penancy a word?
I don't like it.
Should
Yeah.
just play pannery, I guess. Is that good?
I think so.
Okay, so at least I didn't miss a bingo. I got some big one out.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it one bit, but I just
Yeah, it's not a word.
I challenge it off. I fish for 10 or something. And
Yeah.
you'd still play penny probably. And once
Yeah,
I bingo,
it's
you're
looking good.
still in a lot better shape with
So
playing.
I guess I mixed up penance and permanency. So did I have any? Yeah, I made up. So Alright.
I don't know. It's always tough. Maybe it's right to challenge.
Yeah, maybe psychologically. Yeah, I don't know. Penancy. Penance. Permanency. Oops.
Yeah, I didn't think it was good.
Oh well.
I just needed to get an S later.
Yeah. I didn't know whether to play syrup or prism. Making slave. Prism was 4 more, but it kept the U, and there were like 2 more coming, and I didn't want to get stuck with that. But maybe I just take that. I don't know. And also, I don't know. I don't think Netum is, or however you pronounce that. It's probably incorrect. So I guess this is 1 point better than Canik, huh?
Where does Canik?
Or oh no, okay, nope. I'm getting confused. Yeah, I was low on time and thought, oh yes, Canik.
Yeah, especially I had saved the N for Quince.
Oh yeah, that would be. Yeah. Oh, you had the Q at that point.
Yeah, but not the U. I had QIE. I played A, keeping QIN.
They oh shit.
Might have worked. Or if you do the same thing, it would have worked. Draw the same thing.
Okay. What? That it's not a good play? I wanted to. Yeah, he was fishing for the last 2 turns, and I had him like on like maybe an S or something, and I didn't want to play pin or like nip here. Like everything gives back some S hook that he can bingo off of, and I didn't see anything I liked. It was all bad. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just play this. What was the standout? What was the play?
The standout was remembering that INT is a new 3. Then you can like
Oh, okay, yeah. I totally missed int. Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's pint. Pint is better
yeah,
than whatever I did. But at least there's no Essex on the board after Citron. Ints. Yeah, I forgot about ints. Then I saw Kinetum. Yeah, that would have been great. DNR. Oh well.
Yeah, game. Building's not working.
Yeah.
Blocks at the time.
Which play?
I think Venom blocked me.
Yeah, you were playing short. You're like Ova, Olia. I thought maybe I could play Id and Fish, but I'd rather play Denim. And what did I block? Probably S.
Adenoids.
Adenoids to the S. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like there's gonna be a few of those new words that I just missed a few times, of course. Not about it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, if I keep QIN, I need to drive UE. So
when you play, say, drawing the end requires one more tile, but you need it.
well, I need, if I play A, I need to drive UE. Yeah, I need to drop this E back. With over two E's, only one N. 3. I guess it's more likely that I'll draw an E back. Okay. I don't think Quince is my only shot at that point.
You probably have others. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I can still draw an S. Get Quist.
Oh, that's a lot.
Quasi.
Man. Probably not a great play. I didn't realize like the bag. I was like low on time. I didn't realize I was like emptying the bag at that point. But I might just need to. I might just need to score something because it's so close. I'm not sure. Maybe it's okay. Like if I get the S, I can.
You didn't have the S yet?
I didn't have the. I kept RE.
Yeah, if I draw the S, I'm in great shape.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like I need to like the S. Maybe the S is like everything. Yeah, I just need to
Like it was, this thing, this blade,
and yeah.
Yeah, I just needed one
Maybe
S
one S.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Can't find it.
Yeah, not great. Not a great play.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's penance plus permanency.
Terrible.
I did that. Of course.
I let it go. I had bingo. It didn't have anything without that. Yeah, right on it.
Earlier. I had two good plays without that. I had so originally I had Caps as a 1-point win. 3-point up. All right.
So Josh had Keefs as a 1-point win. Josh didn't realize he was emptying the bag. Just an absolute comedy of errors going on in that game. He didn't see INT. And yet he held on and defeated Dave Wiegand in New Orleans by 9 points, the final in that one. I am utterly drained. We have had 3 sick games on stream so far, but it feels like we've had 8. Fortunately, it's only been 3. We have 1 more game coming before lunch, and then 4 more WoW games after lunch. We are stoked to be here. I need a little break. I need to clear my head. Dave Wiegand and Josh Castellano certainly need to clear their heads after this one as well. So Nits and I are going to step away for a minute. We'll figure out the next matchup, drop it in chat, and see all of y'all for round 12 very shortly.